Hi there, this is Peter Lewis. I'm going to introduce my audience. There's 4 people here today. Just wave to the camera so she knows you're there. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, well, welcome. My name is Peter Lewis. I'm going to be giving a speech today on hunting white-tailed deer in East Texas. Some of the basics I'm going to give you. I've been hunting for about 10 years now, and my training used to study survival techniques. Hopefully I'll be able to give you some basic information that will help you in your hunting trip to East Texas. 3 main things we're going to go over is training and preparation. We're going to go over the various habits and techniques of white-tailed deer, and or tendencies rather, and then some hunting strategies that will help you guys in your trip. So the first thing that's very important you need to remember is training and preparation. This is first and foremost. Knowing where you're going. Hunting season is winter time, so you're going to want to pack warm gear. Knowing the appropriate type of camo is also very important. If you're wearing mossy camo and it's a wooded area, it's completely useless. So knowing that, which type of camo to use is important. Also knowing what type of gun to use. Don't be alarmed, but right here I have actually my deer rifle. This is a 30-30 Winchester. This is the gun I use. There's an awesome article that's on huntingnet.com that talks about the various guns you can use. And this one actually for East Texas is a very good gun. It's a 30-30 as I mentioned. It's good at short ranges, 100 yards. You don't want a gun that is, you don't necessarily need a gun in East Texas that can shoot very far, because most of the shots, because it's so heavily wooded, you're not going to get a lot of long shots. So this has a scope on it. You'll want to, speaking of preparation, about 2 weeks before you go hunting, you're going to want to take your gun to the gun range or open field where you're allowed to shoot the gun, and you're going to feel comfortable with the gun. You want to shoot a target so that you have confidence when you're hunting. You want to know that your gun is accurate. You don't want to be questioning whether it's on or off. So that's very important to do. Which brings me to my next point about white-tailed deer. They're very skittish. They're very crafty. They're very smart. Their sense of smell and sight is very keen. So when you're hunting them, you want to know a little bit about them, and so you're not frustrated, and you have the proper expectations when you're hunting them. So the question you might want to ask yourself is when are you most likely to see them? And the answer is daybreak or dawn or dusk. And those are the times you're most likely going to see a deer. And just remember, you need to have patience, because at any time you could see a deer. And being alert at all times in the woods is of utmost importance, because you never know when they can come. There's also another article, Tracy Breen of huntingnet.com. He talks about how he hunts throughout the entire year, and you could wait 4 hours in the woods and you would never see a deer until that one moment, and you see them and you have to be ready to shoot. So I just encourage you guys with that, because having the proper expectations is very important as well. If you think you're going to see a deer right off the bat, it likely might not happen. So just know that when you're going on a trip, you might not see a deer. Like I said, they're very crafty. Knowing what things not to do when you're in the deer blind. Wearing strong perfumes, heavy cologne, bathing with soaps the night before. The deer can smell that kind of thing and will avoid you. And so just remember that. Finally, knowing how to get a shot off. When you're up in the blind, you want to make sure your movements are very slow. Deer can sense the slightest movements. So you want to make sure that every one of your movements is deliberate, it's slow, it's under control. And finally, I just want to give you some basic regulations. Deer season, as you know, because you're going on the trip, is from November 7th to January 3rd. So that's the only time you can shoot white-tailed deer in Texas. Also, you're not allowed to shoot them with a spotlight at night. So I know that might be tempting because deer are nocturnal. you can't do that. So that's another one of the regulations. And finally, you want to know every deer you shoot, you want to properly take care of it. Some of the ethics of hunting. You want to make sure you clean your deer and you eat them, because that's the respectable thing to do. So thank you very much. Wish you guys good luck in your trip, and hopefully some of these tools that I've given you will help you in your hunt.